It's Martingly Nelson here, and I'm here with the beautiful Nia Zhane, who just performed Origami Plains. Naya,
Yes,
glad to have you here with us.
thank you.
Um, Give me the inspiration behind Origami Plains.
Oh,
You talk about folding me like planes. I'm like,
listen, because Origami Plains is it's one of those songs. You know, when you're in tricky situations, and it's like you know something is is fun, but it's not necessarily good for you. Like junk food.
gotcha.
That song's about junk food, and like it's about just painting that picture of, you know, we're just kind of going with the flow, but it's a mess for real. It's That's pretty much
Like a situationship,
like a situationship for real, for real.
entanglements,
Yeah,
all kind of.
whatever you want to call it, it's about that.
So is the song mainly talking about let's get out of that, even though it's
No, the song is really kind of just seeing the moment for what it is and calling it out, and then just kind of like decide. Like it's not really a decision. It's more like this is it, and just so you know, I know this is what it is. You know.
So when you're in a situation like that,
Mhm.
I know pleasure, fun,
Mhm.
those are the things that we want to enjoy the most.
Yeah.
But what's on the back end of that?
What do you mean?
Like pleasure and fun, but what are we compromising in between that?
I mean, you don't necessarily have to compromise for pleasure and fun. It's just more so depending on the fun and the pleasure, you is gonna come with some type of complication, depending. But it doesn't always have to look that way.
Okay, so in these type of situationships, are we practicing self-care, self-love?
I don't know if I don't feel like they're related, like self care and a situationship, because they're different areas up for me. They're different areas of you as a person. Like I compartmentalize things
Okay.
when it comes to like who I am as a whole picture. And I feel like situationships and relationships, now your relationship with yourself does play a part in your relationship
Yeah,
with
I think that's
others.
like the point I'm trying to really emphasize
Uh
is
huh.
does self-care really show up in those situationships or these situations that really like the junk food? Like, are we taking care of ourselves if we're in junk food type situations?
Um, I mean, like, I feel like no, if it's a consistent thing, you know what I mean. But every now and again, it's okay to like go order some French fries. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's very much an in moderation situation as it relates to self care.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily feel like the two are very heavily dependent upon each other.
Well, I think our
Yeah,
opinions may differ on that
yeah.
just because I think how you show up for yourself really does reflect in any relationship, whether it be a committed relationship, a situationship, a fling, or a friendship,
Mhm.
even in your family relationships, like how
Mhm.
you look at yourself, how you how you receive yourself is how you're probably going to be received by the world.
Mhm.
So, like, I want to ask you, how do you want to be received by the world or by your listeners or your audience?
Okay, these are big questions. I just want to I want every listener to relate to what I'm talking about, or it define them in a moment in life where they kind of just want to feel like, oh, you get me, you know, because that's what we look for in our music sometimes. It's not more so about the sound, but it's about I want someone to understand. And when someone sings your soul, it's like whether or not it's right or wrong, you feel heard. So my goal is to make my listener feel heard or have them some resource that they can lean on when they like don't feel like anyone gets it, but like this literally speaks to my heart, and kind of through that like coach them out of those situations, grow from them, but don't stay there too long. That's why I give different types of feelings.
Okay, I
So
was
yeah.
just gonna. That was gonna be my next question. What part of you do you want your audience to relate to? Because relatability, that's a huge thing. Like the music I listen to is usually music that I can relate to. I
Mm-hmm.
can't listen to a lifestyle that doesn't really is not pertinent to me.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to relate? Like, what do you want your audience or your listeners to relate to, in terms of yourself?
The human side, like that's what we need, you know, that's the part that needs the love, and
Yeah,
I'm trying to speak to that human and also like get to that soul in that human
yeah,
to kind of, you know, just relate on that level, on that spiritual level, you know.
yeah, for sure. And I think music is very is like a spiritual experience.
Yeah, definitely, that's why you have to be careful with your spirit in different times.
Well, yeah. Before we wrap it up, what is a message that you would like to give to your audience right now so that they can relate to you, your music, you as a person?
Um, it is very important to spend time with little you. Your inner child is literally the one that's going to fuel you through like life, and you have to be in touch with what makes that child happy, and you have to give that child love that it didn't receive, so that you can give the world your love. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you're checking in with yourself, your inner child, and just have your peace.
Yeah, that's a word. That's a word. We all need to tap into our inner child.
Yeah.
You know that man has been bruised and battered.
Yeah, talk to him.
Yeah. But thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And thank you all for listening to the 12th Hour. Can you just tell everybody where they can find you?
You can find me on social media at NI_ZHNE. I'm also on YouTube. You can check out my YouTube channel. It's NIAZHANE. And then I'm on all streaming platforms. So
Thank you again for joining us, and I really appreciate you, and keep shining.
thank you.
Yeah, no